Boston Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla was recently pictured taking a lesson from Thierry Henry. We know he and Pep have become friends. It made me think and brought me to this cold open question. Pick one Manchester City player to befriend a player from one of your favorite teams in the United States. Obviously, I will go first since I threw this on you. Give you some time to ponder. Uh, Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown, and Jeremy Doku. You know, the fashion, the melanin, and respectfully, the girlfriends. Ish. So plenty of black excellence if we paired those two four together. And then there's Jordan Love and Phil Foden, both young phenoms who had to play the game behind or had to learn the game behind legends and potentially being the man on their team for the next decade. And, you know, I just think they have chill personalities. They can have a little fun together, uh, try each other's barbers out type of vibe, see who does a better fade.
All
Yeah.
right, all right. Let's see. I think that I'm gonna go with Tim Chawinga and
Mhm.
Bunny Shaw, so they can talk about what it's like to just be so much physically more dominant than those that are defending them, and then they get called for the foul, and what that's like, and they can commiserate over that because that sucks. Like you see it a lot. Um, and then I think for my coach level, I think I would like to see Carlos Vincennes and Dave Tobe, the special teams coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, have a nice little conversation, especially since essentially they both are the special teams coaches for both of their teams. I think that it would be interesting to see, just kind of see that conversation and how that would go.
Mm. Nice. Nice.
Man, this is a crazy conversation and question here. Let's see. So my Miami Hurricanes have been really doing really well. So I'm gonna pick somebody from there. I am going to say our wide receiver. I'm tripping. Our wide receiver Xavier Restrepo X. I'm gonna pair him up with Jack Grealish. Restrepo is more of a he's not a he's not necessarily a home run threat. He's more of a what do they call it? It's a
Possession receiver.
he's like more of a possession receiver, right? He's like Jack Grealish. You go to him when you want to keep possession. It's not the big hitter. It's not the big hitter, but you go to him. He's gonna get you possession. You know he's gonna hold on to it. So I'm gonna go Jack Grealish and Restrepo. Put them two together, and um, let's see. I will. Who else do I want to pair up? I don't know. It's hard. I'm gonna go Asia Wilson because I love her, and everything about South Carolina women. Oh no, I'll pair. Not forget Asia, but I'm gonna put Don and Pep together because
Yes,
Don
inject it
Staley
into my
is
veins.
just so dope as a coach. I love her to death. So yeah, Don Staley, Pep Guardiola. Let's do it.
Hey, that's and you know that'd be good, especially if they get them dancing together too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to whoever that was that posted that meme of Pep after the match yesterday, because I am going to be wearing that gif out.
Oh, the one where he kind of pauses or whatever.
Yes, that's the one.
You know, there was something back when he was in Barcelona and they did like some modeling or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's you know, every now and then he got to break it out. Pause,
Like, yeah, he's
turn,
taught to me.
pose.
And, oh, he hit that bitch. Oh, I loved it. Oh. All right. Well, we making art over here. Capitalize that A.
I hate the most is when you don't want the ball. I hate it. You have permission to make a mistake. You have permission to lose. You have permission.
And that's when we get big.
Yeah, I'm a genius.
Attack everyone and send everyone.
I think we're forgetting the most important thing. We're forgetting about focusing just on ourselves.
But we can do better. We need to take the next step, and there's no better place than taking the next step here.
Show ourselves out there how much we want to win it again.
We win 4 of the last 5 Premier League, guys. 4 of the last 5 Premier League. Are we gonna do it again?
Don't ask me again about doubles, triples, quadruples, fifth-tuples, six-tuples, and seven-tuples. So,
Hey, and welcome to episode 111 of Shades of Blue.
World's famous.
Hey, we are the most comprehensive show about Manchester City, covering both the men's and women's game, spanning both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. We making art over here, capitalized A. I am Crunk Chocolate, and I'm with my show bros, Tarek, Tom Bomb. How's it going? How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I am reveling in my cardiac cane's continued comebacks. While it is not good for my heart, it is good for their ranking. I believe we are ranked number 6 now.
Especially because everybody lost. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we would have been a little bit more convincing, we probably would have been ranked higher. But I'll take 6 compared to where we've been in the last few seasons. I'll take it every single day.
Been a great weekend. It's it's the first weekend of October, so that's an appropriate time to go to a costume party. So I definitely hit one of those up this weekend. Had a great time. My sister's been in town, so I've been chilling with her. It's also been great, and yeah, just been having a pretty chill day.
Saw you a little, I won't objectify you, so I won't call you a sexy construction worker. I'll just say you were like a hot construction worker. There just wasn't as much clothing and protection as the traditional construction worker, because you were hot.
Yes, it was very warm at the party.
So already out there, 'tis the season, right?
Yeah.
I love it. But before we get into anything else at all, what I need you to do right now, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up for us. Show some love, leave a comment on what you thought of the episode, maybe a retort to something one of us said. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, any of those podcast streaming services that allows you to rate and or review, please do that. It helps our podcast get in front of other football fans, Manchester City fans, 5 stars ratings, say it's a good pod. Short and sweet. We like it. We love it. We appreciate it. Amazing slate of shows for you this week. Tomorrow, if you're listening, Tuesday, October 8th at 8 p.m., we welcome Aaron West. You might have seen him on the Galazzo show. He is part of the amazing CBS Sports crew. Thursday night, we have the Lit Stream on FanFest Live, where we bring 3 most dope guests on to talk football. Kelkster, it's our City fan, a most dope member of Shady Gang. I was able to meet her in New York for the Man City US tour. Jake from 50 Plus Donor, and Sal of Curva Mundial Podcast. And then Saturday morning, we welcome on 9320's podcast own Asan Naeem back to talk Manchester City. And then Sunday, for Man City Women versus Liverpool, we will be there for a kickoff show, 8 a.m. Central, an hour before kickoff. You can join us where we'll be discussing all you need to know about the game before kickoff. Yeah. Lots going on.
Lots.
International break for who? Oh, man. In today's episode, 2 games for City men. We are going to review Champions League win against Bratislava and a Premier League win against Fulham. From there, we have nothing to preview because the men take an international break. The shock, awe, and applause, a segment where we show love, hate, or indifference to another player, club, or league. And we will end the show talking about our Manchester City women in our segment, Baby Blue Baddies.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Champions League. Manchester City have added another stamp. Hey, Shabba Jolly! What's up, my guy?
Good evening, fellas.
Hey, actually, I'm gonna get you in on this cold open question because the other 2 gave such good answers. I am intrigued. So the question, the scenario I prompted was: you pick one Manchester City player to befriend another player from any of the teams you like in a U.S. sport.
Oh, that's good. Okay. I'm gonna go. I'll go basketball, and I will go Steph Curry being friends with Kevin De Bruyne.
Ooh, that's a good one.
To go.
like
Two
that
savants at their skills, one of the best passes ever, the best shooter ever. Family men, they can relate to that. I think there's a lot of commonality. I mean, some good vibes. They love a good vacation. Take the families out. Yeah, I think it'd be beautiful.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Seeing Steph in a City jersey would be fire.
Have some studio put up like a half.
Did they do that? I feel like there was a jersey exchange, Holland and Steph.
I think Holland did one. I think
It was Holland and Steph where they he threw a Golden State jersey. You know how they
cut
cut
the
it,
video away. Yeah,
and he caught it, and then he threw back the other one. So they did a jersey exchange. So we're right there to have Steph suiting up in sky blue pretty soon. So it's not that's not that big of a stretch.
It will work.
Yeah, let's get it.
Give them a free thing that they will never do, but would be really cool. Do like a half court of basketball and a soccer pitch, and they just take turns doing like trick shots, goals, or things like that. Just like,
I low-key love this.
Behind the back shots.
What was the show back in the day? Was it base? I don't know. It was like basketball, baseball.
Oh, basketball.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. That's what this sounds like.
He
is going to get us crucified by anybody from England. Just anybody from England is going to think about this, and they are going to crucify us. This is like blasphemy for this.
Just a fun thing.
I understand it.
Like a commercial or something.
I understand it, but I'm just saying when they're listening and they're going to be using their mind's eye, their imagination is going to be running wild, and they're going to see what you said, and they're going to be like, "Oh my God, this would be horrible."
Why do the Americans keep doing this to us?
Yeah, I agree with that statement. Why do the Americans keep doing this to us? Anyway.
Oh man. Okay. Slavan Bratislava.
Hold on real quick. So Tom said he would hook Bunny Shaw and
Tim Chewinga.
Yeah.
And then what was it? You said one more too, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I had a coach comp, so I said Carlos Vincenz and Dave Tobe. Yeah.
And then I said because again, using the U, Restrepo, our wide receiver, possession receiver, hook him up with Jack Grealish, who is the quintessential possession winger, keep possession, control. So I would hook those two, and then I said Pep and Don Staley because I'm a big South Carolina fan.
Ooh,
That would
I
be so
like
beautiful.
that.
Yeah.
That would be fire.
Yeah.
Be very fire. I'm here for it.
City versus Slaven Bratislava. Manchester City added another stamp to the passport, facing a Slovakian side, Slaven Bratislava, for the first time. Manchester City have went up against teams from 27 different nations in European competitions. Starting lineup was Ortega, Vardiol, Stones, Akanji, Lewis, Gundo, Nunes, Foden, Savio, Daku, the Spice Brothers, which I like to call Savio and Daku now, and Halan up top. Gundo began the getting ahead of myself. Thoughts on the lineup? I mean, seeing Nunes, that was exciting. It's also it's a match we all expected to win. So I was excited to see Savio and Doku, but you see in matches that I guess matter, we're not seeing them. So, I mean, how excited were you in this lineup? I guess Ortega, I'm just flying right past Ortega. I didn't think Ortega would be used as a Champions League Cup keeper. That's interesting.
Well, I think it was just this match, but again, it's one of those things where you don't ever want to disrespect the opponent, but you could tell Pep he didn't rate them as an opponent. Felt like we would, handle our business. And so you give people who haven't gotten as many minutes, you get a Nunes on the pitch, right? You give him a chance to get a start because again, we know if he doesn't play these games, he's probably not playing anywhere. These are the types of matches that we would have seen, say Calvin Phillips had he still been around, those kind of things. And then it's up to what do you do with it when you get a chance. Yes, I was definitely glad to see him get time. I like the winger combination of Savio and Doku. Again, I understand. I just talked about the possession winger in Jack Grealish. I understand why we have to, we play him or others. We play a different style we approach it differently in different matches. But in this one, I felt like that was cool. But again, I was surprised to see Ortega in goal just because he hasn't played a lot. So I know there's a lot of conversation about his playing time. So getting him in was important, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think for me, the biggest thing was, and I'm surprised that we haven't mentioned his name yet. Like, this was Phil Foden's first start of the season, and I know that he's been ill. I don't know what the illness has been, so I'm not going to try and report on that. But just seeing him back in the lineup, there's a comfortability level, especially when you know that KDB was not fit to play in this match, and then come to find out he was not fit to play on the weekend either. It's like, oh well, if he's not going to be available, at least Phil is available and ready to start. And I think that was the biggest like win of the lineup to me. Is like, yes, we get to see Phil again.
Y'all know I like numbers. So for me, it's really cool to like look at a lineup and I'm just checking ages. And like the age profiles of this lineup are crazy. You had 6 players 24 or under. Holland, Foden, Savio, Daku, Vardiol, Rico. You got 2 players in their 30s and three, Ortega, Stones, and Gundo, and then 2 players in their 20s and Nunes and Akanji. So just the balance of the lineup, the fact that it was fast paced, we can run, we can transition. Because obviously when you put, just from a pure pace perspective, you put Jack and Bernardo out there, we know the game's going to look different, right? So knowing that goal differential matters, knowing that we actually want to make up from having that draw with Inter, like I love the fact that Pep said, and we could kind of see it, right, with the wingers resting over the weekend last weekend. We knew they were going to play. So it was nice to like see them get that nod.
Gundo, I mean, there's no real reason to dive deep in it. So in the match, really, it was what it was. So I'm going to go through the goals. Obviously, if I miss anything else that happens, feel free to dive into that. Gundo begins the onslaught in the 8th minute. Yeah.
You're still with us?
Okay, cool. Begins in the 8th minute with Doku sending in a cross. Savinio goes for glory, and it's deflected back to Gundo, who takes a shot that does bounce off of Bratislava player into the net. We'll take it, right? I mean, really not much else to do for it. There's the 15. Oh, Sharpie.
It was nice to see Gundo get that moment after he played the worst game of his Man City career.
That's fair.
And Pep called it out as such, right? Like we talked about it. It was a mulligan, got out the way. So to him get that strike and that deflection, I was like, okay, we're gonna have a great day.
Yeah. Then there's the 15th minute goal by Foden, who was the key pass to his own goal because he knocked it over to Daku. Daku wide, cuts inside, and sets it up for Foden to pass it and then to the goal. It was really nice. It was really easy. The Bratislava team did a lot of ball watching. It froze in very tight moments. It's a lot for a team like this to expect from them. Yeah. Once upon a time, back in the 70s, they used to handle English teams. I found that out. In the 60s and 70s, they were trouble.
I think just what I was most impressed about is that Daku's taken a lot of grief for his final pass in the box not being clinical, not being crisp, and there was no doubt about that pass. Like, I mean, I don't think that he could have picked up the ball with his hands and ran it over to Phil any better than he did with that pass. And then just like I said, not seeing Phil on this in the team sheet, and then seeing Phil on before this match in the starting lineup, and then seeing Phil score, like that was just, to me, that was everything.
Yes, let's go. Yeah, halftime. How we feeling? What are we thoughts? Any expectations? It's middle of the week. It's the second match. It's Bratislava. How thrilled, excited, worried, or are we just like, all right, on to the next one? Like, where are we mentally?
Yeah, I was pretty much on to the next one. I actually expected, okay, we'll just shut it down. It'll end up, 2-0. We'll just see it out, or maybe it'll end up 3. Maybe we'll get one more. I just thought it was pretty much game over at that point, or match over, and we move on to the next one. Especially with, the matchup at the end of the weekend. So, yeah, it was pretty much a game, set, match at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Now for me, I just want to see like how many can we score, right? Because with the new format and everything mattering, being in the top 8, you never want to try to disrespect the opponent, right, and run it up crazy. But if you can, it helps you out later on. So I was hoping we would get 4 or 5. I think 4-0 is like one of my favorite scores because like that is utter domination. Like you couldn't get one, and we probably had way more chances, but we just stopped at 4. So like that's what I was hoping for.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think I would have liked that, but I think in the moment, because again, the new format is different. But I think back to Pep, I feel like we've gotten a lead and then just like, okay, that's enough. Let's just maintain and hold it. And so I think in that moment, that's what I was expecting. But you're absolutely right that this format, there is incentive to get as many goals as you can, because it'll matter.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little concerned that we had only scored 2, and that they had come so early, and then we hadn't scored yet again. like, yes, the scoreline being 4-0 and at the end, like that helps a lot. But I was like, we need to score at least 4 goals on this club, just like to Charlie's point, like because of the new format, like because we did have that draw with Inter, like we need to be making sure that we're still in the top 8 and we still hold that 8th spot.
Yes. Cool. 58th minute goal. Finally got a third. I was worried about him, actually. I thought maybe he wasn't going to be able to score because I knew he was going to get subbed out. He needs to get rest somehow. Pepe said that he plans on trying to figure out how to rest him, and because I know he's going to want to play in every single match, especially when we don't have a striker. There's no excuse not to play him when we have no other striker. At least with Alvarez, he had to be like, hey, I at least need to get him in as a striker. I can play him other places, yes, but he does. Now that there's nobody, there's no excuse, and Holland doesn't really seem like a person who doesn't deal with or he seems like the person who uses like a logic like that. Like he's the only striker, so I should only be played. And also, we know he gets bonuses for appearance fees and goals, and so that's why he also wants to be seen. Get that money, baby. But Rico Lewis, the ball that he played to him, I remember Pep always talks about specifically his biggest knock on Phil is he doesn't know really how to change gears. He just goes in all in one. And Rico, it started off as a counter. He started sprinting, but then he crept to almost like a little walk. He paused, and the moment that Holland cut up, he just made the pass, and everybody on Bratislava, they basically fell asleep in that moment, and the ball went, and all you can really do is hope and pray. Holland dribbled around the keeper. Really easy. Too easy. I mean, it's one of those things where that's an embarrassing goal to score on a team. Like I would much rather just dribble through or score a bunch of goals than I guess kind of score like one of those, because it was so easy. It almost felt like a practice, like a preseason type of goal, and it just looks bad on a team. People are just like, of course you score a goal like that. It's against Bratislava, and I always want to show like respect with a team. But also, let's go run it up.
I mean, there's respect and domination, right? Like we're gonna give you our best. If we would have came there and started, all the kids and had an academy player on the pitch like we did in the League Cup or whatever, or I don't care about Cup, then it would be real disrespectful. But we gave you our best, even on a tight turnaround. So that's that's the biggest sign. Like, hey, we're gonna take this seriously. We're not gonna count the points before they happen. Because I would never see Pep doing that in a Champions League at all. Like, regardless who we play, even when we play Sparta, right? Like, nothing's gonna change.
Even when playing Sparta. Oh, poor Sparta. Let's see. After that goal, Holland, he subbed off for McAtee, and then Akanji goes off for Diaz, and then Maka.
The agenda is strong. The agenda is strong. Can we just go ahead and jump to the goal? Because the goal was so pretty. It was so pretty. Like the fact that he received the ball from Phil, and his first touch was with the outside of his left boot, and then took another stride, and then hit the ball into the net with his same left boot, with just turning his foot, just love it. And I said this on the lit stream on Thursday, and I think people just thought I was drunk and crazy for saying this, but I'm going to reiterate it. I truly do believe that James McAtee has the chance to grow into the role that Julian Alvarez had with us last year. I think that just kind of being that he's going to be the one that starts in those matches that Erling Haaland doesn't start. He's going to be the one in matches like these, like Champions League matches where Haaland starts but comes out, in the 60th minute. He's going to be the one that's subbed in for him, and he's going to be the one that's played up top, and that's going to help. His ability on the ball is going to help us break down lines and continue to score goals in matches like that. And I think we forget how big he is because he's not a small dude. Like he's a pretty big kid, and he's still not done growing yet, so he could be bigger. And I just think that the sky is the limit for that kid. So I'm just going to continue this James McAtee agenda all season, and just say that at some point, like he'll have at least 7 goal contributions.
I feel like when Macca also it's funny that on One Football is James John McAtee. I just thought it was interesting. Him being 5'11" is very surreal. Like I didn't notice it until they did the post match interview on CBS with Phil and him, and I was like, oh wow, he is not Phil. He's actually closer in height to Cole.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, like his skill set is a true midfielder who has size, right? So he really is like the perfect product for Pep to play with because he's bigger than Rico, bigger than Phil, so he can get in a false 9 position. He can, he's been through the mud, man. Like when you go to Sheffield United, you fought, you've worked. This man probably feels like he's on a vacation every single day. He's like, I'm out of Sheffield. I could be in Manchester. I gotta look at Holland to my left. I got Kev on my right, Foden behind me. Life is good. I'm happy for that man because that's getting it out of the mud for real.
And that is, I mean, you guys queued up both quotes, but I have McAtee after the match, and I'm trying to think what specifically Foden said, but he was just like, yeah, he was sent away, he had the loans, he dealt with that, and he's back now. But basically he was just like, yeah, he went and he struggled, he was in the mud. He basically said he acknowledged that they kind of sent him away to see if he has that dog in him like they think he does. But here's McAtee after the match.
Come into the mic a little bit. Come on, get up here. How'd you feel?
Yeah, I was buzzing when I scored. Could have got another one, I think, like 5 minutes after, but yeah, I'm over the moon.
Yeah, what's it like being amongst the first team boys this season, working under Pep?
Yeah, definitely, it's good to be back. Obviously, a tough year last year for me personally, but it's good to be back and learning off the best players in the world, in my opinion.
Everyone is adorable, and everyone you see in the reaction of the players, and everyone loves him so much. And I had the feeling is the same I had in the beginning. So he's a player with the teams that play so deep. Had the quality, to find. He scored a goal, have 2 or 3 more chances. So had this special ability. And always I had the feeling that I believe more that he can play here than himself. Hopefully that minutes can help him. So you are part of that, and there of course, it's not a regular player, will not be this season, but there's a lot of games is going to help us. And as much he played like he played today, always I can count on him. I had the feeling that we can count on him perfectly.
I want him to believe in him. Like, oh man, that like hurt my heart though. It's just like, oh no, McAtee, believe in yourself. Then also he called him adorable. That's the first thing he said about him. He's adorable. Did you see how everybody celebrated? I know it's the Catalan to English translation, but I feel like the word that he learned in place for the English, it's just the word choice is always fun. It's just like adorable. He is, and people were very happy for him, but it's interesting. Let's see what else from this match. For the Vardial came off for Walker and Grealish for Foden. Yeah, that was it. 4 goals and a clean sheet. The win over Bratislava makes 13 games winning by 4 goals or more under Pep Guardiola in the Champions League. That breaks another record that was held by SAF's Manchester United. And while I'm here talking about Fergie United records, City have eclipsed another one of Manchester United's records from 2007 and 2009. Their unbeaten record was 24. Manchester City's win has now made it 25 consecutive Champions League games without a loss, 17 wins and 8 draws. Let's go. And then lastly, I have Pep on Foden after the match.
He made a fantastic goal, have a chance against Inter de Milan, against last game against Newcastle. Like normally last season always was a goal, and start to not shoot, pass the ball to the post. So you don't have to shoot. You have to make a simple pass to the sides, and Phil can do it. The second goal was perfect for that, and the other ones shoot so strong and not even go to the goal. So, but I had the feeling that it's getting better, and step by step, and of course Phil is really, really important for us. We need him a lot, and step by step is getting his best.
Yeah, just a little pass. All right. Let's just move on to Fulham. Really, the only thing in the pre-match interview that was interesting to me that wasn't already like shared a million times on social media. So that's really the hard thing, because we see so many of the clips, or I guess I see so many clips. I don't know what you guys see, but I just assume you see what I see, and there's no reason to like reuse all of the same clips. So I tried to find some of the ones, or like the nuggets that I guess for some reason media they don't find as interesting, or maybe even the things I find y'all don't even find as interesting, but I'm playing them anyway, so I appreciate it. But here is Pep on Walker. He was asked, does he think Walker can keep up his quality with his age?
I don't have any doubts about Kyle, about his physicality. He can play wherever. Kyle is be focused on what he has to do. I'm happy he's back in the national team, and this milestone is unbelievable, and I think that his win rate is not spectacular, it's superior. So that's why I congratulate them, because that means how consistent, how many games you have to play, how few injuries, because his physicality is out of the normal. But yeah, Kyle has to be completely focused, to get the best of him.
And I don't know. I just feel like he mentioned the word focus a lot in that. And I think that is important and key. I don't know. It's just that is what sticks out to me when I was listening to that. And in this match, we see, go ahead, Sharpie.
So my question for you, Crunk, do you think that's a nod to say that at this moment, Rico Lewis is more focused? Do you think that's something where he's just reiterating the fact that we need, one of our veterans to be 100% on it? Like, what do you think Pep's hidden message was?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think because the question, he's almost answering us, because we're just like, why would Walker be benched when he's a captain and he is who he is? And it has nothing to do with his physicality. We know who he is. He can be physical. He can do those things. There's no question about it. Is he focused? And we see it. It's because we all think he's washed and everything. Is he washed? Is he slow? Or is he just not locked into, I guess, the situation? Is he not taking things as serious? I don't know, because I know your physicality, your athleticism, it falls off quickly, but I wouldn't think someone like him, it would be this bad of a fall off that we've seen him get beat on multiple occasions recently. And if it's not his physicality, if it's not, he's lost a step, it has to be the lack of focus. And we're seeing there's something missing. So it's just like, if Pep is saying this and he's saying, no, he's still strong, he's still fast, the bro just isn't locked in right now. And we know his troubles. Unfortunately, Daily Mail has
Pep said that man got 2 houses to take care of, and he's struggling to mentally do that and do his job. That's what he said without saying it.
Yes, I'm with you. I don't know. It's just
life be lifing, man.
Life be
Captain Cal
lifing.
forever. Captain Cal forever. It's my guy. I'm riding with Captain Cal till the wheels fall off.
And if he gets his way, those wheels are gonna fall off, my guy.
I don't care if it's just me on this bandwagon. We driving this motherfucker, okay? That's my man.
Oh man. So starting 11 was Ederson, Lewis, Akanji, Diaz, Vardiol, Kova, Silva, Gundo, Foden, Grealish, and Haaland up top. Sure, the 2 goals from Kova, they saved us. But I don't feel like our midfield did a great job. Kova's shot deflected off of a player, but his second was admittedly a beautiful goal, receiving the ball outside the box, dribbling past the player, guiding the ball in right past the keeper. But I think Ederson was the man of the match. Just wonderful saves. I know you can't give the man of the match when also gave up 2 goals. It's tough. But the stops that he had is the only thing that's keeping Traore from running it up against him. Nobody really could handle him. Lewis, Akanji, Walker, everybody struggled against him. So Ederson, post-match in one of the post-match interviews, half of the interview was Ederson questions. And I did love that because people very rarely ask questions about him in a positive manner, and so it was nice for them to kind of give him love, but also just be like messy about like him leaving the Saudi and things like that. Yeah. Who do you, or maybe it wasn't Colvin, maybe it wasn't Ederson. Who do you think was a key general person to this match that went on against Fulham?
I mean, Kova got the goals, of course. So, whether that's just a matter of being right place, right time or whatever, he got the goals that we needed. So no disrespect to him. But Ederson stopped at minimum 2 goals, one-on-one, basically with the keeper between him and Traore. So, I mean, it's hard, again, to your point, Kova's probably man in the match for sure, but without Ederson, that game, the outcome of that game feels a lot different. And I think I tweeted in during the match. There's a lot of people that are tweeting out Ederson hate most weeks. Man, that they need to come just as loud with that respect as they did with that disrespect, because that man saved us basically single-handedly. And so, well, I won't say single-handedly because there was a Doku in there too towards the end, but Ederson was immense in this match. And again, he did it not just with his feet, but he did it with his shot stopping, which is the thing that people typically question, and which, quite honestly, there have been times where I've questioned, but he showed up big. Now he just got to go ahead and sign that contract, and we can put all this conversation to bed. But yeah, he was big.
And I saw that Ederson tweet because it was like one of your 3 tweets a week. So of course I saw it.
I don't do very many. I don't do very many.
That's real. You gotta hit them on the account, baby.
I think a lot. I think about a lot of stuff, but I don't always tweet it. Sometimes I even get as far as typing it out, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not even gonna say that. Yeah, so, I've got the filter that the college coaches try to tell the college kids, you got to have a filter. Think twice before you. I have that, so it keeps me out of trouble.
Yeah, I don't want to overstate it. It's Kova. Like, those goals were necessary. He should have been able to say I scored the match-winning goal, to be up 2-1, but obviously late concession, whatever. And I think, just as he said, like, Roger's the best player in the world. We have to replace him as a collective. He's playing the role the best he can. He's doing what we expect Rodri to do, right? Come up in those moments, take those shots. You may not make them all, but you got to take them. You got to put them on target. And I had confidence that when he struck the ball, it was going to be on the frame. It was going to make the defense win. So like he's invaluable. I think Pep had a quote about him, right? Like that is a guy who, if we did not have him, or whatever, like we will be in a terrible position, like to have that much experience to be our backup to Rodri. And we saw what he did in the last season. He just continued that form now. Like, what another great pickup, a free transfer, right? Oh no, it was very little money from Chelsea. Great job by everybody involved.
Charlie's absolutely right. It's got to be Kova, just because those goals that he scored are the goals that we have become accustomed to Rodri scoring at the top of the box. And like, yes, no one man is going to replace Rodri, and he has to take those. He's got to be the one that takes those shots. And the fact that he can put them on frame, and put them into place where a replacement level Premier League keeper cannot stop them, and that's what Leno is. Like that's huge. Like to me, he was definitely the man of the match. I think Crunky, you might even have a clip of the quote that Pep had about him about how like, yes, he's going to take those shots, and now teams are going to have to step to him, and that's going to leave other people open. So I think that just putting that on tape, like I know that in football we talk a lot about like putting things on tape, so that other teams look at it and know what to expect. So now that they know that we've put that on tape, and Kova's put that on tape, that he isn't in form enough that he's going to take those shots and probably make them, yeah, they're going to step to him, and that's only going to help us going forward.
Kovacic post that match, he said in practice, Pep is telling us to all take those shots. Diaz, he said the same thing last week, where it was just like, hey, this is how we're gonna have to break these teams down who with these low blocks. It's everybody is gonna have to take a shot. We have evolved very far from no, Vinny, don't shoot. Like now it is Vinny, shoot. If Vinny was on this team, he would be telling Vinny to be shooting.
Kyle Walker shoot, goddammit. Motherfucking Kyle Walker taking these long range missiles for a reason, okay?
Yeah.
Let's not go too far now.
No. The hate does not outweigh the facts.
I'm just joking, man. I'm just giving you a hard time.
No hard time.
I'm giving Kyle Walker a hard time, but I'm doing it because of you. Go ahead.
I'm a defense attorney for Kyle Walker, okay? In America, it's a different case. Different cases. These are not civil cases. These are a case of PR. So the court of public opinion, I would recommend, okay? The other stuff, God bless that man. Hope his checks. He'll be in Saudi next year, okay? I gotta go get a bag, bro.
Well,
62nd minute subs, bringing on Doku and Walker for Grealish and Kanji. Stones for Foden in that 78th minute. But the moment we want to talk about Doku's wonderful goal. Lewis feeds the ball to him. No Foden in that area anymore, so which means he has a little bit more space to run into. Rico Lewis also makes a run, which kind of drags a few players in, which gives him even more space. He takes an extra dribble and just woo! We've seen him take those shots before, and they normally look silly. Like they just go high and wide, higher wide. But this, it was like pure. That ball just flew in the net. Running on all cylinders. If we could have that Doku on the left and then Foden doing his thing, but on the right being able to cut in onto his left, that's just dangerous. That's trouble. Fulham, they scored in the 88th minute. Yeah. Were we worried that City were about to crumble? Or because I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't worried, but then when they sort of kind of started time wasting, and then Ederson got his yellow, and then Pep got his yellow for sarcastically clapping about Ederson's yellow, I did get a little worried. I did.
I wasn't worried. It was just more of a, this is so effing annoying. Like, especially like as you're watching a team that wears red in London and who we just won't bother to name, like as you see them, extend their goal difference, and then you like see our goal difference like get smaller. It was just annoying. Like I wasn't concerned that we were about to like level the match. It was just like, come on guys, like just keep your focus for like literally 15 minutes, and then we can all go to this international break and maybe figure some stuff out, and then come back and get this train truly rolling.
Yeah, not concerned that we were going to lose it, but yeah, I mean, I guess there was some trepidation about, are we going to give up a goal and only come out of here with the draw? I guess that was a possibility, but the biggest thing was just, to your point, trying to keep the ball, frustrating with that, and then just I don't think we did a great job of it. I feel like we've done better in previous situations. Holland had the ball more in the corner typically, and we were doing different things. So it wasn't great watching. It wasn't great to watch, but we did what we had to do. So that was the biggest thing.
I was amused. And also just because I'm defending Kyle Walker today, I was so happy he wasn't involved in that goal. That made me so great. I was like, yep, can't blame that man now. Ha ha ha. What y'all gonna say? What the haters gonna say? It was his fault for not being not being over there. That was great. But no, would you want to be 3-1? Of course, you want to win 3-1 over 3-2. It's a little nervy, but we know how to see a game out. Bernardo's out here directing people. No, you go there, you go back. I got this. Like, we got the right people on the pitch to handle it. I will say though, the biggest issue, you kind of said it really quick. I think Gundo should have stayed in. I mean, should have went off instead of Phil. I don't know if it's because the Phil's minutes or they're just being careful, but Phil has more legs than Gundo. Like, Gundo is not a 90-minute player anymore in a match this intense. And from my perspective, I think he's a great 60 to 70-minute player. But if you're going to make that sub, then take him off, take the 33-year-old off, then bring on somebody who can still run and track. Because I just saw Gundo was tired. You can see it by the end. So that would be my only criticism of the last, part of it. But that Doku goal was spectacular. Hopefully people stop talking about him as well. People love to talk about the black players more. Because Jack Grealish, they never gave us that moment. Or at least it's been a few seasons. So, for the kid to be doing it at 22, that's my left winger right there.
I mean, I hear some people going in on Jack Grealish, but I do think it's more just because of the $100 million that loom over him. I don't think that there's much else other than that. Yeah, here's Pep on Fulham. I actually think I might have cut it off right before he had mentioned about, you got to double team another player, so that it means somebody else is open free. We'll see.
Well, I would say except Demo and Morgan scored the first minute. The other ones we were playing really, really good when we conceded the goal. But yeah, of course, it's not nice always you come back with 0-1, but we create the chances to go 1-0, 2-0 in the first minutes of the game, and every single game would happen that. But of course, so always recover, always not easy. Sometimes I give credit. So the first goal, who expect Jimenez do that incredible touch, So why don't give credit to them more than be defensively bad? But yeah, there is action that you have to defend better. That's for sure. But step by step will improve.
Bro did a back heel chip. That was insane, and it was perfect. What can you do? You really do got to give it to him for that first goal. If there's anything that Manchester City does, it's they give up worldies. You got to work hard and do everything perfect to score on City, and it sucks because when people do score, it's just like, damn, that's a good goal. It just makes it doubly worse because it's just, again, such a good goal. All right. Anything else from this match before we keep it moving? Because I'm not going to lie, I will never think about this match.
You know what was funny about this match?
3 points.
Holland taking a free kick for what I think is the first time as a City player and kicking that mug directly into Bernardo Silva. I was like, what are we doing? What is this dude taking? What are we doing? Again, I think he's trying to shoot there, but I did not expect that. I got to be honest with you. So seeing him lined up over there, I'm sure he's probably hit those in training or something, but I'd be okay if he's not taking those, at least not on that showing.
No Kevin, so yeah, it's just anarchy. Shock all here. Nope, not premiere. Shock all and applause. I just want to be biased and shout out Manchester City as a football club. 6-point weekend. Men sit second in Premier League. City women sit at top of the league. Just to be able to sort of support a club where all sides of the club, because even the academy, they did work in their like Champions League, lower division match and league match this weekend. So just to support a club where all sides have title aspirations. I don't know. It's just nice winning. You know, it's just a good feeling, good vibe, and I just want to stick to that. Sticking to the club that's winning and stuff, because I'm sure one of y'all will do the good job and laugh at a couple of clubs that I'm hoping y'all are gonna laugh at.
I do have things that like I found like very funny. That I was so let me shout out to the homie Courtney Stiff over to Diaspora United. She tweeted this out earlier today. So Emma Hayes has been on a bit of a tour for in the NWSL, and every home team that Emma has visited on her US tour in the last week has lost. Chicago lost 1-3 against North Carolina Courage. Seattle Reign lost 1-0 against Angel City, and then last night Portland lost 2-1 against Utah, which Utah is like they are getting the wooden spoon this year. They are very bad. So that personally made me laugh. I thought that was hilarious. I know that there were a lot of people in the DMV area that was hoping that Emma Hayes was going to be in Orlando today. She was not. Shout out to the Pride for winning their first piece of NWSL hardware, winning the Supporter Shield this week, and they will be the number 1 seed in the playoffs come later this month. And then also quite possibly the funniest soccer action of this week, James Ward-Prowse. Like, come to the carpet, sir. Like, because that sir, like, what you knew what you were doing, and you knew it was wrong, and the fact that you were already on a yellow, but you knew that you had to do it to save the goal. Like, and I think what also makes that even more hilarious is the fact that Chelsea just showed their deep unseriousness and not being able to capitalize on being a player up, and the match ending up in a 1-1 draw. But James Ward-Prowse, that just was so funny. Like, just diving out to grab the ball, like full, like
Wait, man, was playing rugby? I just watched this for the first time. That's crazy.
like you would have thought
he was
trying to you would have thought he was trying to recover an onside kick, like in football. Like, I swear to God, that shit was so funny.
Hey, Nuno said he had to take one for the team. Had to do what he had to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
And what did they do?
Hey,
they kept
he
that
didn't give up
point,
no
though.
goal.
They kept
the point.
Real ones do real things, JWP. So
Exactly.
I'm done with Southampton. I'm done with West Ham. I'm here. I'm a Forest man now. We do this. Shiver me timbers.
Wow.
That was a good one, right? I'm not gonna let it lay. I'm gonna just move. I got 3 teams on the shout out. Shock all applause, right? And this is gonna make you upset. I'm gonna start here. It's crazy that Liverpool is only giving up 2 goals in 7 matches. That's a crazy stat. Because you would never see that with Jurgen Klopp. Like that 2 goals in 7 matches, insane. Moving on, because I know y'all get offended. Shouts to Everton for getting a point against Newcastle and Anthony Gordon coming up short, little lemon booty, missing a pin. That was hilarious
against his home club.
His home club. But hey, Everton's sitting at 16, 2 points above the relegation zone. Every point matters. Somehow Crystal Palace is in the relegation zone. It sucks. And last but certainly not least, gotta shout out Brighton for taking out Spurs, going down 2-0, only to score 3 unanswered. What's a more Spursy way to lose? So shouts to Brighton.
Thanks.
For me, I don't really have like a team because again, most of these teams I don't really care about, nor do I watch like that. And I'm not gonna go Vinny Company this week because they lost for the first time. So we're gonna leave Vinny out. I am gonna give props to City Academy graduate Liam Delap with his 4th goal in 7 Premier League matches so far, or this season at least. I feel like this is his breakout season. Assuming he stays healthy, this is that season that he becomes what we thought he could become, or at least takes those big steps in that direction. I don't know about you guys. I'm going to put it to a question. What do we think his goal total will be? Let's just say Premier League goals. Oh, that's probably all they're in. So, okay, Premier League goals.
He's got 4 and 7. They got
4
31
and
matches
7.
left.
Yeah.
I think he can get to 15, 11 in the last 37. 15 feels solid for that club.
Yeah.
And what he scored 2/3 of their goals so far.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
On my sheet, I have between 12 and 15 goals is probably where I expect him to end up. And like you said, for a team like Ipswich, who we expect to be in the relegation places, every goal matters. And to have a he's proving now, have a goal scorer, somebody who can put the ball in the back of the net. That's usually what they struggle with. So kudos to him. They're currently outside of the relegation spots. I think he has. Then my next question becomes, is there any concern about him moving to a team that needs a true striker, a true number 9 up top who can just go put the ball in the back of the net? I think it's probably a stretch to say he could go to Arsenal next year. It's probably a bit of a stretch, but I mean, he knows. I would imagine he knows Arteta.
Buyback, but I don't know if it's for this year or next year.
But are we truly going to buy him back with Haaland up top? Probably not.
I think we would need, though. There's a need for a true second striker.
But do you bring him in to be a backup?
Why wouldn't you? If he's down,
we would want to. Don't get me wrong, we would want to. But would he do that? Would you do that?
But I don't think he would go to Arsenal and start over Kai Havertz either. Like
not yet, but maybe not this season. But if he ends up with 15 goals this season for Ipswich,
that's fair.
He'll probably have more goals than Kai Havertz will.
True. But yeah,
if I could put him at the top of be my focal point, he's got all the physicality of a Haaland. He's got the pace. He's probably better with the ball than Haaland, to be honest with you. Having come up through the Manchester City Academy, he's not Haaland. Don't get me wrong, but if I'm Manchester United, I'd rather have him than Rasmus Højlund. I'd rather have him than Xerxes, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think he's got more to his game than either of those two. He's probably not Solanke yet, but I would probably rather have him long term than Solanke. So, I mean, I think I see him being positioned for a bigger move. Again, like I said, Arsenal's probably a stretch too far, but with all of between them and Chelsea trying to become Man City light with all of our former players, it's just like, are we going to see him show up there and then, whatever. So I don't know.
That's a solid question, honestly. And I know you rate Solanke, but I do not. So.
I don't rate Solanke. What are you talking about?
I rate Solanke.
Oh, okay. Somebody, not me. I mean, I don't think he's horrible, but I mean, I don't know. No.
Okay. My bad. Mm. Tom Bomb. What are those baby blue baddies doing to him?
This might be the first time that I've actually seen Gareth Taylor truly make a lineup for a league match, looking ahead to a Champions League match, and and it all making sense. It all making sense. I know that at the midweek in his press conference, he stated that Layla Wahhabi was going to be good to go, and did get the start. Starters, Amashita in goal, left to right, Layla Wahhabi, Alex Greenwood, Laia Alexandri, Kirsten Kasparai. In the midfield, Yui Hasegawa, Laura Blinkilde Brown, and Jill Roord made her first start of the season.
I have two clips. Gaz on Jill and Gaz on Yui.
It was always that when she drops back into the team training and when she's ready for games, that's pretty much it. And that's great, but that's not also a green light for us to be able to just go and play a back-to-back 90 minutes. So we need to do that in the right way and build up a load appropriately. But in terms of being fit and strong, she looks better than I've ever seen her. I think the work that she's put in is testament to her and the medical staff getting her ready to be available, like I say, in this really important period for us.
And then on Yui.
Of course, I think when you're talking about holding midfielders, then she's certainly in that ballpark. I think that when you consider, of course, we changed her position when she arrived from West Ham to a number 6. It took some time, but she hit the ground running straight away, and I think that again is testament to her and how she kind of sacrificed herself for the team from playing in a higher position. And of course, I think at first she longed to go back there, but I think if you asked her now, she'd be really happy that she's got herself into that kind of reckoning of being one of the best holding midfield players in the world. And yeah, she deserves it because she's very, very important to how we want to play with the ball and without the ball.
Talk that shit, Gaz, because she really is one of the best holding midfielders in the world. And there's not any and if you think about the profile of the other 6s who are the best in the world, like Alina Oberdorf, she's gonna out physical you. But Yui Hasegawa, just her ability to read the game and then be in the spot that she needs to be before anyone else is just unmatched.
My biggest credit to Yui Hasegawa is that I totally forget about Keir Walsh. And we remember when that happened and that went down, oh my God, we're losing talent to Barca. Oh my God. You came in and who who, what, when, where, why. I don't know her. She don't matter. She ain't me. You know, and
Right.
that's my biggest credit. You was incredible.
Yeah.
And then up top, the forward line, we had Lauren Hemp on the left, Chloe Kelly on the right, and Mary Fowler starting up top. This match got off to a very fast start, and not in the best of ways for City, because we talked about that Erling Haaland goal for against Bratislava that Rico assisted on, and it was almost a mirror image what West Ham tried to do with Caitlin Gorey sliding in Vivian Asai, and Asai just finding the back of the net, and then just like, oh my gosh, and like I still haven't seen a replay on it, and like I'm still not convinced she was offsides. Like I'm gonna take it as a City fan. Absolutely, I'm gonna take them taking that goal off the board for West Ham, but I'm still not convinced she was offside. But it was nice because it seemed like it kind of woke up the attack a little bit. And I so in the 10th minute, Lauren Hemp did score a goal that really honestly was created because of Mary Fowler's hold up play, which if you would have thought about saying Mary Fowler hold up play when we first brought Mary Fowler into City, like you'd have been like, huh? What? She's not physical enough to do that. And then the fact that like she basically bodied both of the center backs for West Ham in order to get that little toe poke pass to Hemp said a lot. I think the rest of the first half of the match, it was, I have to credit Gareth Taylor here because you wanted as few things to happen as possible in this match, mainly because you know that you're going to have to start Yui Hasegawa in the midweek match against Barcelona, but you also know that you didn't have anybody to really play for her in this match, so you knew that she had to play all 90 in this match too. So you had to make sure that she was able to not cover a lot of ground, and she didn't have to. And we did that. We, held on to the ball. We did create a couple of chances. Our finishing did kind of leave some stuff to be desired, especially in the first half. Second half, kind of more of the same. Viv came on for Jill Roard at halftime. And then I believe it was the 72nd minute that we got other subs, 69th and the 70th. So in the 69th, Bunny came on for Chloe Kelly, and the 70th, Oba Fagino came in for Lauren Hemp, and like almost immediately after Bunny comes on the pitch, like she's like, I think the announcer even said it, and her second, third, and fourth touch, oh, it sets up the assist to Mary Fowler, who was like, Mary Fowler scored on a header, y'all. Like that's like there was a reason where she was named player of the match. Like she was by far the most dynamic player in this match. She set up a goal. She scored a goal in ways that we would not have originally thought Mary Fowler could do that. And I think that it just kind of gives a lot of confidence to her as a player going forward. So I'm super, super stoked about that. And honestly, there's nothing else to talk about this match because it was really just make sure that you get the result. And the Joy Stadium is hosting Barcelona on Wednesday. So get ready. Get ready. That's really all it's going to be. I'm interested to see how. I don't think that Gareth Taylor has really ever come up against a squad that wants to possess the ball as much as he does and the way that he plays. So I am going to be interested to see what happens when, like, if we get 40% of the ball in this next match, it's going to kind of be a minor miracle. Not because like we're not a good squad, but like Barcelona is trained to keep the ball all of the time. So we're going to have to be really clinical in the spots where we do have the ball, and probably going to have to counter them. And knowing that Jess Park was not even available in this match just lets me know that she's going to be a big part of that. Um, I think about the match that we played Chelsea at Kings Meadow last year, where she kind of led that counterattack goal that Bunny scored, and then we kind of let Chelsea have the ball, and I think that that's going to be the path to victory for City. I don't know how this is going to come out. If you're telling me to make a prediction, I'm gonna say like my most optimistic prediction is gonna say a 2-2 draw, um, because I think that Barcelona is just that good. That stated, we still should be advancing out of this group, um, because we are more talented than the other two teams in this group.
Yes. I have Gaz on a few words about the match.
Nice to have back-to-back home games, and we have a couple more to come before this break in the international period. But yeah, really pleased. We changed a few things today. Obviously, new personnel coming in. We have to be patient and giving them time to settle and find their rhythm. And second half, I felt we needed that injection from the sidelines, and we got that with Bunny and Alba, and we've got improved options, I feel, this season now, which is really going to help the team. You know, Alex was solid, Laya was on the front foot, and yeah, we needed to be, because they're quite a dangerous team. They always try to hit you on the counter-attack, and they pressed as well really aggressively and made it difficult, but I thought some of our combination play was really good. The modern game now is not the 11 starters are probably going to be the ones who finish the game. We have starters, we have finishers, we have players who don't get a look in today. Jess Park, as an example, is nursing a slight knock. She'll be fine. Laura Coombs, we've still got really good players there, like who are able to be a part of this, and they need to be ready on every single moment, because we're never sure really what the game is going to give us. Objective for us is to qualify into the Champions League quarter-final stages, and you know, we've been given an interesting group, obviously with the team that's done really well in the last 3, 4, 5 seasons in Champions League. So I think it's a great game for us. I'm really excited about it, especially being here first.
Yo, when I found out they won 3 out of 4, I was like, "Oh, this is like what Real Madrid used to do." Like this is Benzema, Ronaldo. Like, you know, my thumbs up thing went off, because yeah, they are them. Like, they go. And Tom, you were so optimistic. I love that 2-2 draw. I'm just hoping we don't concede more than 3, bro. Like, Barca's just different, and like unless you play it, you don't know it. So I actually think we'll do better on the second time we play them, because we'll have experience. But like you said, there's nothing close to them in the world. You can't, and you're not getting it in WSL or the BWSL. So like, I think a 3-1 loss is actually not that crazy, because you're gonna beat the other 3 people in the group twice. Like, we're gonna win. We're gonna get out of the group. I think a 3-1 loss this time, then we build to a draw the next time on the road away, then we move on. Like, that's my mindset. And of course, I hope we win, but if I had to bet on it, it's 3-1.
See, I was just hoping that we could get a draw. So when Tom said 2-2, I was like, okay, so there's hope. And then you brought me back down to earth. Because I going into it, I wouldn't have thought we would have, you know, I won't say we had a chance, because we have a chance, but it feels like it's fighting a losing battle in that one. You take your lumps and you learn from it, but you're, you know, whatever. So we'll see.
Set pieces, we got height advantage if you play Viv and Bunny together, right? That's huge. That could be a really great if we get some corners. You hope you hit on a counter, like Spark gets busy, but man, good job with Bomati and Pateas and the rest of them. Like, the whole Spanish national team out there. Like, it's just
Right.
Paunuello, like Sama's out there. Lord Sama. Jesus.
Also, I'm not about to like yeah, I am. So there's this clip going around that's saying that Mariona Caldente is just a system player, and she is not going to do anything at Arsenal. Like, her impact on Arsenal squad will be 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 5. And I have to put this in this context. Like, you know, the captain of the U.S. women's national team went to the newspaper of record, the New York Times, and called her mama dumb. And she went to that continent and said, now they are ball knowers. They are ball knowers over there. And yet, this continent of ball knowers is saying that Mariana Caldente is a system player and will not have any impact on Jonas or on Arsenal. And if she doesn't have any impact on Arsenal, that's because Jonas Eidevall is a crap coach. And I think that even your most ardent Arsenal Women's Football Club fan will tell you that, like that he is a crap coach. Also, I'm fairly certain that she is the only reason why Spain beat Japan, who I think that Japan probably is if you think about the last two major international tournaments in the World Cup and the Olympics, Japan is the team that Spain wants the least of. Yes, they were able to advance past both of them in knockout stages and group stages. That stated, like, they didn't play the kind of football that they want to play in order to do that. And the only reason that they were able to in the last match in the Olympics was because of Mariona Caldente. So I just have to say that, like, for some ball knowers, y'all don't know ball. I'm just gonna say that, and y'all made, well, not y'all made, because she did this of her own accord. She actually told the New York Times reporter that her mama was dumb in the New York Times. But yeah, you're making Lindsey Horan look bad. Like, not that she doesn't do that enough on her own, but yeah, that's I can't believe that y'all would say that. That's some non-ball knowing.
Some people moms be dumb though. So I mean,
but you don't say that shit in the New York Times.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, she said she took "Say It With Your Chest" and took it to heart, and I respect honesty.
Oh man, yeah, and yeah, Barca and then Liverpool. It's a away match.
Shout out to Liverpool for scoring 5 goals today. Granted, 2 of them were for Tottenham, but shout out to them for scoring all 5 goals, especially since their finishing had not been very good to start off the season. And also, if you want to hear more breakdowns and talks about the WSL, and if I'm just letting y'all know as of this now, if you want to hear an epic crash out from an Arsenal fan about his squad, Sharpie, you gave Mitch the most kudos. Wait until Treb records tomorrow, because he has got some things to say.
Man's literally messaged the group chat, was like, "Ayo, I need 15 minutes." He said 15 minutes. I need 15
calling for a clear out.
He said clear out. He said clear out.
Wow. He said we going to 20. We playing King of the Court. Fuck y'all. So crazy.
When I saw 15 minutes, I was like, "Oh yes."
Nah, but you got to give him all of it, because if a man wants 15 minutes, he really could go 30. He said 15 to be kind of like cautious, just to be like, I'm gonna be respectful of the rest of these people on this pod who I value, but I need my time to get this off of my chest. So you say it with your chest. 2024. Here we go. I'm tapping in the 12. Get with it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh man. All right. Anything else? Okay. Amazing shows for you this week. Tuesday night, Aaron West of CBS Sports, Golazo Show, stand up. He'll be joining us at 8 p.m. Central. Then there's Thursday night Lit Stream, live on Fan Fest. Our 3 guests are Kelkster, Jake's from 50 Plus Donor, and Sal of Curva Mundial Podcast. Saturday, we welcome back Asan Naeem of 9320 Podcast. And then, just because City Men are on break doesn't mean all the city shut down. We got our baby.
The content still be contenting over here. It doesn't matter who's on international break, men, women, kids. The content be contenting over here.
Shades Blue Network for a reason. The whole network. You know, we got a lot of different options for you here.
Plenty of other shows. So yeah, tap in, check us out, stay tuned. My show, bros. Let listeners know where they can find you. Tarek, we'll start with you.
Same place you always find me, right here every week. But other than that, you can find me on Twitter and on Threads at Tarek Peterson, TarikPeterson, at Tarek Peterson, Threads and Twitter.
I mean, man's is low key becoming a regular on LB show. So I mean,
I'm on YouTube is what he really should say. I'm on YouTube, okay.
Hey, but you know what? I still got to get him. He's just waiting on me to get back to him with a day. So get him on ours and make that happen. But
Eric's our
yeah,
official,
I mean, I go in there
city rep and our official US rep over there on UK.
But I mean, he's had Mulv on there too a couple times, I think. So yeah, but it's cool. I enjoy it. Get meet some more people. So yeah, it's cool.
R.
There you go. Fair enough.
On that note, find me on Twitter at Sharpie Charlie. There you go.
Listen, if there is a social media app that I participate on, you can find me at TomBomb816.
And follow the network on any social media apps if we are on it. At Shades of Blue NW, at Shades of Blue NW. And you know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang. Go vote.